Hi everyone, I'm Shelly from There's No Place Like Home at redheadmom8.wordpress.com. Don't you hate when you find a routine that really seems to be working in your homeschool, when all of a sudden, out of the blue, it just gets really, really boring, not just for your kids, but for you as well? And that has happened to me so many times. But one tip that I really want to give you today is that you don't want to throw out an entire routine just because it's not holding your kids' interest or even your interest as much as it used to. Because the fact is, if that it's been working for you, well, you don't want to just get rid of everything, right? So today I'm going to share with you a tip that we use in our own homeschool that really helps us to break the monotony of our routine each day. And it's a really simple tip, and it's something that you can definitely incorporate really, really easily. And that is to just do your simple routine, that routine that you found that works 4 days a week, and then take the 5th day of the week and do something completely different from what your normal routine looks like. So for example, let me just say first of all that 5th day can really happen any day of the week. A lot of people might decide to do their normal routine Monday through Thursday and then do something different on Friday. Some people might decide to start out the week on Monday with something different to kind of ease in from the weekend, and then do the normal routine Tuesday through Friday. Other people might decide to do the different day, maybe like on grocery shopping day, which is what we do, because the 5th day, I always call it the 5th day, even though it's not necessarily Friday, but our different day, I should say. It doesn't always take as long as our normal routine days do. So I found that actually works really well on our grocery shopping days, because on our grocery shopping days, I like to go grocery shopping as soon as my husband gets home from work, because it takes hours. 12 people in the house. It takes hours to go grocery shopping. So anyway, what day of the week that you do it does not matter at all. It just really is what fits your schedule. And as for what you do on that day, that is something else that is completely up to you. Now, when I say completely different, I think it's because you really want to shake things up. Because when you're doing the same thing day after day after day, you just kind of seem to get into this mode of like Groundhog Day. You're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. So throwing a little wrench into the works with having this little fun day really, really does help to make you actually look forward to doing school again. So for what we are doing right now for our different day, I don't even know, that's not even really what I call it usually, but for that 5th day of the week, what we have been doing is nature study. So what we usually do, now I'm just going to give you just a quick glimpse of what our normal routine looks like so that you can see what the difference is. So on our normal routine days, for the littles and middles, now I do them separately, but they all basically have the same order that they do things in. So we usually start out with devotions, then they do read aloud, and then they get to pick out what sort of notebooking they want to do, or if we have unit study activities that day, we will do those. And then we will move on to math and spelling and silent reading, and sometimes a little bit more notebooking. And that is just in a nutshell what our 4-day routine looks like. So on that 5th day, what I've just recently really started incorporating now is nature study, because it's finally starting to get a little bit warmer outside. So what we do now on that nature study day is we still start out with devotions, and then for our read aloud, normally I do the read aloud separately for the littles and the middles. They each have their own group for me to read aloud to. But on this day, since we're all going to be doing nature study together, right now I'm reading a book of short stories by Rudyard Kipling. And it has cute little stories in it, like how the camel got its hump and how the leopard got its spots. And it really, really goes well with the nature study idea of what we're doing, and it holds the interest of my littles up to my middles. They range in age from like 4 to 13. And the stories are really brief, but they're really cute, and the kids really do learn from them. And they're classics, so that's always a plus too, right? So anyway, after that read aloud, what we will usually do is we will go outside for some sort of a nature study. The most recent nature study that we did was we went to a wooded area that's just like a few blocks from our house, and the kids were busy, you know, looking in burrows and climbing trees and looking at moss on the trees. And actually at one point we had to move where we were because we smelled a skunk and didn't want anybody to get sprayed. But you just really want to take this time to enjoy the outdoors, get your kids outside, and just, again, this is something so completely different than what they normally do, okay? And then after their nature study, what they do is they come back. I just got them new nature study journals, composition books from the Dollar Tree that they just decorated on their own with cardstock. I will probably show those in a future video. And they just write up a little nature study notebooking page in that. But what I want to say is that while that's what we're doing right now, there are so many options of what you can do on that 5th day. Because if you're really not outdoors people, or if you don't live in a good area where you would be able to do nature studies a lot, there are so many other things, such as you could do a movie day where you could choose movies that would have to do either with maybe a book that you just finished reading, or it could be linked to a topic that you've been learning about, or it could just be something that you guys have always wanted to see and it's something that you want to share. So you could have that one day a week be a movie day or a documentary day or something along those lines. You could also do field trip day, like a weekly field trip, and it doesn't have to be something expensive where you're putting out all this money, you know, every single week. There are so many inexpensive things to do with your kids, you know, whether it's going to a park, or some museums have days where they actually offer free admission. Even going to like the flea market, we always count that as a field trip because it's such a different environment from what we're used to. And you just really, oh, and also around here, the bowling alley, they have free bowling Monday through Thursday, like from 4 to 6. So again, you just have to be able to find these things to do, but doing a weekly field trip with your kids is another great idea. Some other things that you could do is, if your kids are crafty, you could have an art and craft day where you do like maybe painting on that day, and then another week you might work with clay, and then another week you might learn a handicraft, you know, like sewing or knitting or crocheting or something like that. There are literally so many different things that you could do. The main idea is just to find something that your kids are interested in, that are really interested in, and put that into your routine that one day a week, just to shake things up a bit. But I do want to warn you that what you choose to put into your routine, you really do want to make sure that it's something that you're comfortable with doing too. So like, say if your kids are really crafty and if you just get really nervous having all that glitter everywhere and glue and paint and everything, and if it's going to make you uptight, don't do that. Do something else, or either at least find something that's a little bit cleaner. But there are other hands-on activities that you could do, you know, like hands-on science activities. There are so many great YouTube videos where your kids can find little experiments to do. Steve Spangler science activities are a lot of fun. But again, the idea is just to find something that your kids really would enjoy, something that you would enjoy, and just bring some fun to your homeschool so that your kids and you will always know that you have that one day to look forward to that is going to be different from every other day, and that really makes every other day just a little bit better, or sometimes a lot better. So anyway, if you have any tips on how to break the monotony of your homeschool day, I would love if you would share it. If you like this video, I would like if you would give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would love if you would do that too. And I hope you have a great day.